What is the stupidest way you got a scar? Someone said that knife is for cutting tape, so it won't cut people, and I checked. This reminded me of working in a dish room at my university. We had a strict no cutting utensils rule for things being sent back to us. They had to be hand washed by their stations. The pizza station sent back their pizza cutters and our dish lead yelled at them. The person from the pizza station said they aren't sharp enough to cut you and proceeded to grab it like he was a claw machine. It cut him on every finger, and we never had to deal with pizza cutters again. For clarity, the reason we had a not cutting utensils rule is they soaked in a tub before we sent them through the machine, and we constantly were having to stick our hands in there. Dear God, I'm tape. I was holding a super soaker reservoir bottle underwater at a lake to fill it up. It slipped out of my hand and shot up out of the water, hit me in my lip and split it open all the way through to the other side. Needed stitches inside my mouth and right below my bottom lip. Got a small scar from it. Then before you got into the car for the hospital, the driver was like, "Nah, you can't get in my car, you're super soaked." My father fell off his motorbike and went through a bush which contained a barbed wire fence. Tore his mouth up pretty bad. But that's not the story I'm telling. No. My auntie had knee surgery when I was a toddler, and as she was due us about able to walk, she came over to visit. Toddler me, being a little shit, decided to go over to her with my plastic mallet and bopped her on her knee. My father laughed so hard that his stitches opened. Skeptical. When I was 10, I wanted to cut a coconut with a big machete, and on the first try I hit my thumb. Luckily I didn't hit it too hard, but I have a permanent scarf on my thumb now. Does it not stay warm by itself anymore? No lie, I have a small scar on my thumb for the same exact reason. I was using a big knife though, not a machete. My foot was itchy, so I used a hunting knife to scratch it. I've done that with the sole of my foot. It didn't scar, but, oh my god, the blood loss from a foot wound is scary. Sometimes itchy feet feel like they need a knife to scratch them though. I couldn't tie my laces as a kid and liked to walk with my hands in my pockets. This led to me tripping over my laces, no hands to protect, and landing face first onto a stone step, the corner of which went right between my eyes, leaving a small scar where my monobrow grows. Monobrow? Not anymore. Was playing a Ms. Pac-Man machine in a laundromat. Inky snuck up on me. I flinched, need the padlock on the coin insert, blood everywhere. Cool scar, but damn you Inky. Inky made you get the inky everywhere, sorry I'm not good at jokes. Kid in the church nursery hit me in the eye with a plastic carrot. It was 40 years ago. I've still got a scar. Carrots are good for the eye after all. Edit, thanks for the awards. I don't know what they do, but thanks. Reminds me a lot of my friend that got stabbed in the armpit with a lead pencil. Changed a light bulb standing on a glass coffee table. Yep, I fell into the table. I had a light bulb explode in my hand once while I was changing it. I've never actually flown from a table before that day. I also don't change many light bulbs. I was sitting on the edge of a coffee table that had a glass insert in the center. Laughed at a joke and rocked backwards and fell through the glass. Ended up with glass in my back and my most ridiculous scar. My mother still has the coffee table and it still doesn't have glass in it, speechless face. Burnt my arm on the side of an oven tray because I took it out with the wrong hand and had to cross over to shut the oven door. Left an inch-long scar that took a painful 2 weeks to heal. I have a number of these on my biceps from working at a bakery. Was carrying a stack of trays, with oven mitts, and they slid back into my arms. Proud baker scars. I was in a cornfield and grabbed a cob of corn to throw at a friend. The leaf from the corn stalk went between my middle and index fingers as I released the throw and sliced the webbing open deep enough that I could see my tendons. That was 25 years ago and I still have the scar. I always laugh at those movies where people run through cornfields like it's tall grass. You get roughed up doing that. Grasses and corns are no joke. They will cut you and people don't realize it. One time I, an idiot, tried pruning back my lemongrass without gloves on. Cut the absolute shit out of my finger. Started bleeding, got woozy, almost fainted, and then buffed from the dizziness. It was so bad. And honestly the most pathetic injury I've gotten so far. I stuck a hand between the gears of my grandmother's sewing machine while it was running. Ouch. Damn. How many stitches? Dripping burning plastic on my hand to see if it would scar. Science. Ah. Creepy crawlers. The headrest of our bed was made of solid wood and had curved edges. It was wide enough for a 2-year-old, me, to sit on, and I used to love sliding off it. Well, one night I sat on it to slide as usual with my legs on either side. My leg on the bed got stuck between the pillows and I fell face first on the floor. Got a cut on my forehead which required 6 to 7 stitches. Damn, had a similar story with my sibling. I was acting out being pushed, and told my brother to push me onto my bed. I went straight back, smacking my head onto the wooden headrest. Woke up at the hospital, with 4 new staples in the back of my skull. Skating down the roof didn't come as planned. What color was the towel tied over your shoulders as a cape? It has to be solid red or blue. What part of this is stupid? The scar or the skating down the roof part? Can't decide. Put my hand in a toaster to see what happened. What happens is that you burn your fingertips off. It hurt like a motherfucker. I found out so you don't have to. It has healed nicely, so is barely visible any longer, after 20 years. Thanks, now I know that burning your fingertip will hurt. Could have been worse. You could have been me who wanted to see what would happen if I touched the red bit with a fork. I was a stupid kid. When I was about 12, we had a new kitten at home and it scratched my hand. Not deep at all, it was just a kitten scratch. Being 12, I thought it would be really cool to have a scar and kept picking at it for days, on purpose. I'm now 38 and I have a cool scar on my hand. No regrets. I remember having a very similar thought process around 9. I refused band-aids thinking scars would make me look cool. I'm now 30 and none of those scars stuck. I do have a variety of ones gained in my 20s. I have to put extra sunscreen on those, so joke's on me. Almost the same thing happened to me. My cat scratched me on the face and I kept picking the scalp because it was itchy. A scar formed next to my eye. My scar makes me look like a gang member with a teardrop tattoo. 10-year-old me shredded too hard on a razor scooter. Did you scar your ankle, knee, or face? Got a fishing hook in the side of my finger. My immediate reaction was to pull away. That was the wrong reaction. Not a big scar or anything, but definitely stupid. Edited to add because it's funnier, I also have a small mark, barely noticeable unless I point it out, on my leg. Friend got a new dartboard but hadn't set it up. What if we just use the box just now? I'll hold it first. Now have a reminder that I'm a moron sometimes. Edit 2, hello Microsoft, Sam reads Reddit YouTube videos. I once decided that shoreline fishing without shoes on was a good idea. Took a step forward while casting and felt something give some resistance on my foot and then suddenly stopped resisting. Didn't think anything of it until my foot started itching a bit, right between my pinky toe and piggy that had none. Decided then, that I'd walk back and see what's what. That's when I saw it. A broken hook head was wedged into the soft, supple skin between my toes. Panicked, I let my stepfather and step-uncle know what had just happened. After they finished laughing, my uncle had me sit down in his chair and propped my foot up on a small ice chest. Initially he handed me some pliers to pry it out myself, something that squeamish, pansy me couldn't stomach doing. I handed him the pliers instead. Something my stepfather was more than happy to tell me was a mistake. He fumbled with it a bit, causing me to twitch about and recoil in some pretty new to me pain that I had no experience in as a budding 14-year-old boy. pliers in hand, he asks me if he can just rip it out instead and get it over with. I argue, because that did not sound fun. This went on for another 5 or 10 minutes or so, causing my mom to start packing some stuff aside for a trip to the nearest ER. My uncle asks me to dig him out a beer from the other ice chest to my immediate right that was within arm's length. As I was leaning over, I felt the slightest stinging sensation in my toes. While I was distracted, my uncle took an opportunity to just strip the hook head out, using the pliers. Mom was pissed, I was relieved. Thanks Uncle Fox. I wish 14-year-old me was less of a whiny little bitch. Woulda made that entire endeavor far, far quicker. This is my favorite comment. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.